Morning and a warm welcome, and thank you for joining us once again on Sunrise at Sea. You're most welcome, and this is part 2 of the Twitter jabs. And this morning what we're going to be doing is quite simple. Of course, it's just a few hours to Christmas and I am excited. This morning we're going to be highlighting a prayerful Christmas. I feel like so many people out there have really lost it when it comes to Christmas. We have lost the true meaning of Christmas. And joining me today in studio is a pastor all the way from Worship Harvest. I will give him the honors to introduce himself because he asked me to do that. Good morning, sir, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Shivan.
Kindly tell the viewer your name.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be on CTV this morning. My name is Jeremy Biamanzi. I'm a pastor with Worship Harvest Ministries, and I'm very glad to be here under the leadership of Apostle Mose and Pastor Sarah Mukisa.
I'm actually very excited to have you here, Pastor Jeremy, because once in a while I actually attend services on Worship Harvest, and it's always a blessing when I'm there. So this morning we're going to be talking about Christmas. Of course, it's just a few hours to Christmas, but the things that we're going to highlight this morning is the fact that not just Ugandans, but so many people all over the world have lost it when it comes to the real meaning of Christmas. Now, before we even dive into that conversation, Jeremy, what does Christmas mean to you?
Christmas is a time of celebration.
Okay.
Because I try to keep it about Jesus, you know, and it's always a good time to remember what God did for us and to celebrate that. That for me is the main reason for Christmas. But there's all these other things around it: a time to be with family, a time to rest. It's also a time to give thanks. Yeah, so for me it's a combination of all those things. Everything else is just an extra, a bonus. The food, the celebration, you know, catching up with family, the travel, all that is a bonus really. Yeah. Okay.
Now looking at the aspect that people seem to have lost what it exactly means to celebrate Christmas. What would you tell them this morning so that they are actually able to go back to the drawing board and think of Christmas as a way of giving thanks and be appreciative that a king has been born?
Yes. First of all, life. The fact that we are alive today, that you are here at the end of 2021 is a reason for you to celebrate and to give thanks.
Very important.
That's very critical. So many people have lost their lives in 2021. But what happens is that many times people are focused on what they don't have and they forget about what they actually have. So then you find that your mind is focused on, oh, you know, I was not able to buy the gifts for my family. And then you forget the reason why you are actually here, which is to give thanks and celebrate Jesus. Yeah.
But would you say pushing Christmas is the right thing to do? Because World Health Organization had sort of suggested it.
Why? I think it's the wrong reason. Why would you push it?
Because of COVID-19 and the Omicron that is now in the country.
So when you push it, then what does that do for the celebration?
So according to you, there is no reason to be postponing Christmas at this point in time?
No, I don't think there is. I think they're pushing it for the wrong reasons. Many people like to travel over Christmas, but Christmas is not about traveling. Many people like to party over Christmas, but that's not what Christmas really is about. It's about celebrating the birth of Jesus. Getting together with family, giving thanks over a meal, thanking God for the year that's coming to an end. You don't need to be in another country to do that. You don't need to travel to do that. You can do that in your home.
Pastor Jeremy, why are you shaking tables this morning? Leave us to travel in peace.
Yes.
How about now, for many people, I mean, myself inclusive, we have lost so many loved ones to COVID-19. This year has really not been the best year. And for many of us, we do not even see a reason as to why we should be celebrating Christmas.
Yeah.
So what would you tell someone watching this morning that, you know, yes, you have lost someone, they do not see a reason to celebrate Christmas, but yet again, Christmas is an important event. So how would you encourage them?
I think what I would say to the person that's watching who has lost a loved one is that you must focus on, first of all, the gift of life. There's always something to give thanks to God for, you know. Like I said earlier, the fact that you are still here alive today means God still has a plan for you. And so that is reason enough for you to celebrate, to give thanks. So much as you have all the pain in your heart, you've lost a loved one, lots of regrets, maybe business loss, lots of money lost in the year, not able to hit your financial goals. If you're a business owner, you are still here today, which means that next year you can try again and you can hope for something better.
Interesting. But also, if I may ask, I mean, yes, people have lost their loved one. Christmas is important, but even for people who are trying to get back on track,
Yeah.
would you, how best do you think we should actually be celebrating Christmas and not make it about the gifts, not make it about traveling, not make it about going partying, because literally that is what we mostly do. So how can we focus mainly on the birth of Christ without actually putting in all these other added things that don't even make sense?
One of the things that I usually try to do every Christmas is to listen to Christmas carols.
Very important.
It's very helpful because it gets you in the mood. If you're in Kampala, you can go and watch the cantata, the Watoto
The
Christmas
Watoto. We're actually
cantata.
going to show that live.
That's always a very good one. You can see it on CTV as well, like you've said. That's a good place to get the Christmas spirit. Then, of course, spending time with your family is a good place. That always brings back lots of memories of Christmas, and just to talk about the years and what you used to do in Christmas as a child, you know, it brings back so many memories. So I think that's a really good place to start.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how do you spend your Christmas?
With my family.
Really?
Always, yes. We don't always travel. Sometimes we stay in Kampala because my dad is here, and so I like to spend some time with him. Sometimes I get together with friends and go and have a big Christmas lunch and just talk and remember the year. But, you know, we usually have church on Christmas Eve because Christmas Day we usually take a break. But this year, specifically, we're going to be having a Christmas service as well.
Before. Okay, now looking at the Christmas service that you're going to have, of course, amid this COVID-19 pandemic, how do you plan on regulating, especially when it comes to the numbers? Because I know Worship Harvest can really attract so many people. So how do you plan on regulating the numbers, but yet again without making people feel left out, that they do not have that physical touch with the session that you're going to have?
It's actually a lot easier on Christmas Day because very many people travel for Christmas. So we don't usually have as many numbers as we usually have on an ordinary Sunday. But we've made provision for social distancing. You put on your mask, and then we also have an online broadcast so some people can catch the service online.
Okay, so Pastor Jeremy, finally, as we wrap up this conversation, to the youth, I want you to give a message to the youth, and then we shall get to the adults. The youth especially, I'm not saying the adults are angels here, but the youth seem to also have lost the meaning when it comes to the real meaning of Christmas, yes? So what would you tell a youth watching this morning about Christmas, about why they need to celebrate it and how they should go about it?
I think it's what I would say to them is you must understand that first of all you have life, okay? Then you have friends. Now, many times for younger people, like when we were children, it was really about Sunday best or Christmas wear.
That is what I was going to say, because very many youth are going to feel left out. Like, I've not got a Christmas cloth.
So I don't have a beautiful gown like yours for Christmas. You know, you're saying, maybe I'm not able to go to church because I don't have that dress, or I was not able to get my new outfit or something. That's not the reason. You know, you are here today. I think that's a good reason. The adults probably will feel that maybe you've not been able to buy the gifts you wanted for your children. Maybe you don't have enough money to take them to that holiday destination. Or maybe you are not able to put the right food on the table. You know, all those are non-essentials.
Pressures, but they're basically pressures of, especially if you're like a sole provider in your family, if you're especially if you're a parent. I mean, you want to give your children or your family the best Christmas ever, but again, it goes back to the pressures of adulting. So how would one deal with that, especially during this festive season, but with COVID-19 being in the picture?
It's a bit of a challenge. If you go out on the streets now to try and do some Christmas shopping, everybody is out in the malls, in the bookstores, in the gadget stores, trying to get some last-minute Christmas shopping and buy as many things as possible. Not everybody is able to do that. Somewhere in a village is somebody who is hoping for one Coke and some potatoes.
Yes.
And hoping that they can just get that and prepare a meal which will be good enough for their family. Meanwhile, in Kampala, somebody is trying to buy a 65-inch TV as a Christmas gift.
But
you see, you have two sorts of people all trying to get something for Christmas. But Christmas is not about that TV. It is not about that chicken or that food, you know. It's about Jesus. It's about knowing that, you know what, Jesus was born to save the world from sin, to save people from their sin. So we must keep that as the center, and then everything else is a bonus. So for me, it would be, get up, go to church. Even if this is the only time you go to church, it's okay. But get up and go.
Christmas is the only day for some people that they actually go to
yes.
church. Very alarming.
Go to church, give thanks for the gift of life, then go back home and spend time with your family and enjoy a meal together and just relax and thank God for the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Pastor Jeremy. Are there any last remarks that you'd want to tell someone watching this morning?
I just want to say, in everything, give thanks. That's God's will for you. Give thanks in every situation. So even right now, with what's happening around us, just give thanks.
Very important.
The Bible says that a thankful heart, or some versions say a merry heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries up the bones. So find your cheer, find your joy, celebrate, have a good time, because Jesus is the reason for the season.
Well, thank you so much, Pastor Jeremy, and
Thank you,
Merry
Shepard.
Christmas from myself and the whole team at CTV.
Merry Christmas to you, and thank you for having me.
Well, that winds up the conversation that we had for you today on the Twitter Jabs, and we were talking about a prayerful Christmas. And before even going, I just want to give a word of encouragement to someone watching me this morning. You may not have a reason to celebrate. Christmas may be like right now, you do not see why you're even giving thanks because a king was born. But guess what? You need to be thankful that you're actually able to live here today. You need to be thankful that you're listening to me today. You need to be thankful for the little things that you have. And especially for the youth, for the teenagers out there, don't compare yourself to anyone else. If your parents have been able to get you something, stick with that and be thankful. Christmas is not about gift. It's not about the food. It's about celebrating the fact that a Savior was given unto us. And right about now, we are going in for some jamming music. It's a Friday, but not only is it a Friday, but the next day will be Christmas. So we have some Christmas carols coming right now.